Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 97 of the M&K Productions Podcast as we're on our road to 100 episodes. 3 more episodes after this, and it is a freaking big deal. So you got a few pit stops to make. So today on episode 97, I'm Mac, and I'm joined here as usual by my co-host, Kristen, a.k.a. Miss Flamingo. How you doing today, Kristen?
I'm doing good, but I just noticed something.
What?
You don't say or start the podcast anymore. To quote a great philosopher.
Listen, it's only when
What
I
happened
edit.
to that?
It's only when I edit and I remember it because I'm like, sometimes it's like I think of these things on the fly because I don't even think about it. I just do. I'm an
So
improviser.
those quotes come to you like
In
you
a
don't
moment.
rehearse? You don't rehearse
No.
in the mirror, Mac?
No, this podcast
You don't
is
practice
rehearsed.
your anchor voice?
Kristen, we're not alone. We have a special guest here, don't we?
Yes, today we have our first guest for 2023. I was almost going to say 2022. Yikes. Whoops. I'm still in that phase, folks. That still hasn't hit me yet. But today we are joined by our first guest for 2023. You may know him from the Critics Circle. He also does the ultimate. How should I refer to that with the tournaments, Tyler?
Just refer to it as like the League of Cinephiles.
League of Cinephiles. Thank you. We are friends from that, so I'm proudly happy to introduce Tyler Banark. Welcome to the show.
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me on here. It's been a good day. You guys seem really cool. I can't wait to get down to business.
We are very, very chill. We have no filter, I feel like, at this point. This is just the whole mess of a show. So today we are joined by Tyler because we're going to talk about the latest Ashton Kutcher film and Reese Witherspoon film to hit Netflix, Your Place or Mine, and we'll dabble into the film works of Ashton Kutcher and maybe touch up on a little bit of Reese, but we're going to focus on Ashton because
We're going to rip him a new one. That's what it is.
the man's a billionaire and I don't know about his acting. So,
I'll say it later, but I have very strong feelings because I've been on a roller coaster with this man for almost 20 years now. So this is personal. This is like, remember in The Last Dance when Michael Jordan was like, and I personally, I took that. That's found fun. That's me with Ashton Kutcher. I was like, that's a lot to say. But before we get into, we start the news, Kristen, Tyler, tell the audience a little bit more about yourself. Where did you come from? You didn't just come from the sky. You didn't get thrown from like Mount Olympus. You were
down like a shooting star.
Yeah,
In outer space, they crashed like a meteor.
Who are you? Let us know now.
Yeah, so I'm a 23-year-old amateur film critic. I'm from the great state of Omaha, Nebraska. Let's see here. When I'm not doing film-related stuff, I'm a delivery coordinator at Nebraska Furniture Mart. I've been running a movie account since 2015. I went to graduated from high school in 2018 and just went to school studying film. And I've been doing the League of Cinephiles. As Chris already said, I've been doing League of Cinephiles since February 2021 when it started. League of Cinephiles is it's a competitive little YouTube channel we've been doing where we do film trivia and little debates we like to call Cinema Wars. And it's changed my life. The guys in it are great. Shout out to Alex Sommer who runs the channel. And that's how I met Kristen. Kristen's a rookie on it this season. And
a very terrible rookie.
Oh, come on, you're not that bad. But Kristen, I co-hosted a match that Kristen made her debut in, and she seemed like a really, really chill girl and a really cool person. And I'm really honored to be here. And that's the basics of Tyler Banark.
Banark. Okay. If I said Barnark, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. People mispronounce my last name all the time. Like I've gotten a lot of Banark. I heard someone call me Barnack once. It's fine. But
you should see
Banark.
You should see how people pronounce our last names here. You don't want to know, right, Mac?
Yeah, McGiver. But Tyler, where can the folks find you at? Like, what can we link in the description?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at Tyler Banark. Banark spelled BANARK, reviews movies. I'm on there. I write for cinemasolace.com, and occasionally I'll write for the cinemadispatch.com. Shout out to Hunter Friesen, another member of the league who runs that site.
Hunter's great. We had him on here, actually.
Yeah, and of course, check out League of Cinephiles and the Critics Circle on Instagram and on YouTube.
Most excellent. Thank you for all that. So, guys, his description will be linked down below. Mac, you want to cue us up for the news?
Yes, let us get right into the news. All right, so the news for this episode, I guess we should probably just start it off. The Flash trailer came out on Sunday over at the Super Bowl, and wow, they announced the Flash trailer, I believe, back in 2015, and it took 7 years, but we finally got a trailer. It was with everyone's favorite non-controversial actor, Ezra Miller. But yes, the Flash trailer is out. It is directed by Andy Muschietti, and it stars Ezra Miller, Ben Affleck, and Michael Keaton, and it's going to be following the Flashpoint paradox and be essentially the reset point of the DCEU with James Gunn's recent announcement of phase 1 of their new DCU being Gods and Monsters. So I'll start with Tyler. Tyler, what did you think of the Flash trailer?
Yeah, so I checked it out, and like I don't really fall into the DCEU that much. I'll occasionally check out a movie on there. But as for this trailer, I mean, it looks fun. Seeing Michael Keaton back as Batman, that'll be a highlight for sure. I'm really curious to see how they're gonna reset the DCEU with it, because I know that's what James Gunn like really highlighted and emphasized. But as the trailer itself, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna see the movie or anything like that, but I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see how they handle it, especially given that you're getting a theatrical release, and the controversy behind Ezra Miller. Like, are people gonna avoid it? People are gonna go see it. Mm-hmm. But it's being made, it's happening. So who knows how it's gonna go?
Yeah. I have a whole lot to say because
for like almost the past 2 years I've known you. You said I do not care about the Flash.
I don't care, and I still don't care. I don't care about the Flash. I haven't even cared about let alone TV series. If Zack Snyder could not interest me in the Flash and what we saw in Justice League, I don't care about a Flash film. And knowing the problematic happenings with that film, this has been delayed. This has been like a roller coaster of DC emotions because of Ezra Miller and the train wreck that they've been on. Like, we were ready for this movie to be canceled. Like, I was set. If I could have, I would have loved to press a button that would said cancel right now, and I would have done it. Because, I mean, first of all, I'm still disappointed about that Batgirl thing. They shouldn't have canceled that. They should have not canceled that. And I don't believe they were like, oh, it's unreleasable. Excuse me, Brendan Fraser was supposed to be the villain for that. How could that not be good? That don't get me started. So I was like, no, like, I liked the trailer. I liked seeing Ben Affleck. I liked seeing Michael Keaton. This should have just been like, oh, I don't know, like a reboot of Batman with Keaton or something. Like, they could have made, like, I don't know, a MCU time-lapse film where all the Batmans come together, and I would have loved it. And they could have kicked the Flash out, and I would have still liked the film for what it was. But I don't know if I'm going to see it. This is like a half-price Tuesday watch for me.
Oh.
And yeah, and that means if I save enough points for AMC to go on a Tuesday, I can get in for free.
Oh, but listen, I'm gonna say something controversial, but yet so brave. I don't think that Batgirl movie was gonna do well, even with Brendan Fraser as Firefly. It would have been entertaining, because that would have been like his first comeback before he did the Whale, but he did the Whale, so it's fine. But that Batgirl movie was not going to be good. It did not.
Did you see Leslie Grace in that outfit? Come on,
she looked terrible. That looked like a CW outfit.
No.
What about the leaked trailer? Did any of you guys catch that at all?
No,
I was trying to be nice.
There was a leaked trailer for Batgirl, and it looked like I don't know how to describe it, but like I heard some people were like into it, but when I watched it, I wasn't into it.
I didn't want to watch.
Test screenings were like, yeah, we're not feeling this movie. Like, it was like, okay, so that movie was not making it past like a 6 out of 10. And like, the only thing that probably would have saved it was probably Michael Keaton and Brendan Fraser. I don't know who Leslie Grace is. I don't know.
She's from In the Heights. You liked that.
From the what?
In the Heights.
I didn't say I liked In the Heights. I said
she was oh my gosh, she was Nina, right?
Yeah.
She didn't even know that. She's just a random face in the Heights. Didn't know she was a black girl. But yeah, Batgirl and everything. But yeah, the Flash trailer was pretty fun. It was cool seeing Michael Keaton. He's like, I'm Batman and everything. That's pretty cool. But are we gonna talk about the fact that Supergirl shows up in this movie?
No. I feel like
that silence,
Melissa Benoist showing up anytime soon.
That silence perfectly justified, because if you don't remember, Supergirl was gonna have her own movie before that got canceled. So they're like, well, we filmed this already, so let's put her in anyway.
Yeah, they were like, all right, we'll squish her in somehow.
Oh, man. But yeah, the Flash, I'll probably see it, because I just want to see like how they're gonna pretty much reboot everything because the timeline is so screwed up.
It makes me mad that this is the film they're gonna market off of, saying, okay, this is the new DCEU.
That was supposed to be Black Adam, and you see how that worked out.
I didn't even watch it yet. Still,
You should watch it.
I don't want to watch it. It's not gonna
forever.
Well, that's the thing with Flash too, because what if Shazam does well next month?
Shazam should have been it. Like, I'm obsessed with Shazam, so I'm ready for that film. They got so many good characters for that film, and I'm ready for it.
Well, we'll see. Kristen, what is your news topic here?
All right, we're gonna move to the TV section for just a moment. So, Mac, you know how much I enjoy the Ted Lasso, and I love it. It's right? You know that, right?
Yeah.
It's a family favorite in the house. Family favorite, great family content, and they released a brand new teaser for the series along with the release date of March 15th.
Ooh.
Which will, because episodes were scheduled like previously. If you have an Apple subscription, new episodes come out on Fridays. However, the episodes are going to come out on Wednesday, so that's going to throw me for a loop. So now I can't enjoy it on a Friday night. I got to sit down on Wednesday night and enjoy it. So, guys, how do you feel about Ted Lasso? And Mac, when are you going to finally update that Apple subscription account?
I already have Apple TV, actually.
You told me you got rid of it.
Oh, no, I got it back again. I got it for 99 cents. I was watching Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent the other day, but I like Ted Lasso. I think this is a role I'm not a football fan, as our listeners in the UK or wherever else listens to all over the world say it, but I can appreciate the sport. And I think with Ted Lasso, just being a sports fan, you can appreciate the humor in it. And the fact that they added him and that team in the new FIFA game, I think that's pretty hilarious.
I think it's funny. What do you think about it, Tyler?
Yeah, so I am actually one of the people that haven't seen Ted Lasso. I know I know you're about to smite me for it. But,
do you have Apple?
I do. The only time I've only used Apple TV is to watch Steven Spielberg's Empire of the Sun and to watch Cha Cha Real Smooth. I love that movie. But the rest of my family watches that and they love it. I've seen a lot of clips and it looks great. There's that I've seen that one clip of Ted talking to that one player and like it's referring to Alvin Iverson's whole. I mean, we talk about practice.
Yeah,
like
practice.
That whole spiel. There's another clip I saw with everyone's arguing about what the best Martin Scorsese movie is.
Yeah.
And like someone like interrupts us and saying silence, like either like
silence is good.
Like either he's saying silence, like everyone shut up, or silence in like the Scorsese movie. But other than that, I mean, I haven't seen a whole lot of it. I mean, a lot of people talk about it, and I can see why. But I just haven't gotten around to it. Maybe I can check it out. Who knows?
You need to check it out. You have to. Right now, who's a hot ticket moment is Brett Goldstein, because he made that cameo appearance in Thor: Love and Thunder as Hercules, or what was it, Thor? No, yeah, Hercules. Remember? You remember, Mac, at the end of the post-credit scene?
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, with Russell Crowe, right?
Yeah. He is a hot ticket at the moment because he just wrote and produced another great Apple series that's out, which I really like. It's called Shrinking, and it's got Harrison Ford in it and Jason Segel. If you haven't seen it, guys, it's absolutely hilarious. I love it. Great. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. So good content coming from Apple. And Mag, what's your next news story?
All right, so it's another trailer because I like to keep up with trailers. Guys, we got trailer number 1 of the new and 10th and possibly final entry of the Fast and Furious series. It's Fast X. It's going to be harder. It's going to be faster. It's going to be just everything. We got Jason Momoa as a villain, which I think they're stretching it a bit. We got Charlize Theron's back. Apparently there's rumors I hear that they got Paul Walker's brother to be his character now, but that's unconfirmed yet. And it's just the whole crazy. The trailer was super long. They were showing everything, and like the part that everyone was freaking out about was, I think, the part when Vin Diesel, they grapple hooked his car and he just like drove the car and then crashed helicopters. But this comes after Fast and Furious 9, which came out 2 years ago, and Fast and Furious 9. I think that's everyone was like, okay, you guys are doing way too much. Please stop. And you're like, nah, we ain't stopping. Talk to the baby girl. That's a Vin Diesel voice, but
it's not a very good one. I'm sorry. And of all the impressions you do, Mac, that's not a good.
I just got those Riddick movies.
Hey, Mac, you tried. That's all.
But yeah, so honestly, I'm excited because at this point, Fast and Furious is kind of like a meme at this point, and that's sad because I kind of like Fast and Furious, and I always thought that the seventh one should have been the last one, especially the ending with saying goodbye to Paul Walker. But we have to keep going on, and like I'm not saying everything post 7 was bad. I like 8. That was fun, and then Hobbs and Shaw was okay, but then like the 9th one, I'm like, I'm done. But guys, how are we feeling Fast and Furious, and how are you feeling about this new movie, which is supposed to be part 1 of part 2 of a 2-part finale?
Okay, yeah, I saw the trailer, and actually I was kind of hooked on it, honestly. I mean, I will say it was a bit too long and give maybe a little bit too much away for a first trailer. But it actually convinced me to go through the franchise. I mean, I've seen the 3rd one, the 6th one, the 7th one from start to finish, and I've seen like parts of like 4 and 5, I think. But it convinced me to actually want to go through the entire franchise. And I've also seen Hobbs and Shaw as well, and I think the series has definitely taken an interesting turn since post Furious 7, especially with from what I heard with the 8th one with like Vin Diesel and Dwayne Johnson didn't have much screen time together because they were beefing at the time. And of course the 9th one, I think I've heard that's like the first movie where like they actually admit how ludicrous, no pun intended, they get. But yeah, I mean it looks good. I mean, I'm interested. I'm really intrigued. The biggest selling point of the trailer for me was Jason Momoa as a villain. I think that it looks really interesting, and I think he's going to do a very fun take on we really get to see his dark side and not see him as Aquaman. But I'm excited to see what he's going to do with the role. Even seeing additions of Brie Larson and Danielle Melchior in it as well. I'm excited for it. But I have to go the whole franchise first. But I mean, I'm down to see it.
Kristen?
Oh God. This is the last person you want to ask about for the Fast and Furious franchise. Oh my God. The way I didn't even watch the trailer because that's just how much I don't care about the Furious series at this point. They could honestly go to space and I wouldn't have cared. And I'm not surprised if they do go to space in this next one. So I've only seen the photos and I saw the poster, and it looks like Vin Diesel is trying to channel his inner godfather with the freaking rosary that he was holding, and I'm just like, what is happening to this series now? Like, this used to be about cars and everything. Like, it doesn't even look like it's about anything what it used to be.
Yeah.
And knowing that just Jason Momoa is going to play a villain, I don't even know what Brie Larson is doing.
She's just there.
Yeah, she's just there.
And I'm just like, why is she there? Okay, great, good for her. Other than being everybody's least favorite superhero, but
Captain Marvel's an American hero. Aren't you excited for Mr. Marvels?
Okay.
Can we talk about? Listen, this is how entrenched with the lore I am in Fast and Furious. I think they're pulling for Shaw as the villains because first of all, Jason Momoa's character's name is Dante, which I feel like is the most badass name of all time. Dante's Inferno over here, but his backstory is that when they stole the vault in Fast 5, they killed his dad or his brother because he was he's like, you killed my family and I'm gonna take yours. I'm like, wait, what? That's it's not even Vin Diesel's fault. That was The Rock. He shot your dad or whoever it was.
Who shot who? I don't know this in the series.
Oh, okay. Remember the 5th movie where they robbed?
I didn't see the 5th movie.
Okay, so in the 5th movie they robbed this drug lord in Brazil, and that's if you've ever seen the clip when they were pulling the safe across the street and stuff like that, that's part of the scene. And then the drug lord, The Rock, killed him, and then apparently Dante is his son or his brother or family member. He's like, you killed my family, so I'm gonna take yours. I'm like, Jesus, this timeline of the Fast and Furious. I'm so caught up in the timeline. I know stuff that you probably don't even know.
I remember from Tokyo Drift, the scene where Han dies. I don't remember seeing you see someone get out of a car and walking away, and so that's supposed to be Deckard shot, and then they brought into Fast and Furious 6. And I mean, like that's that's how crazy like it's gone with the franchise. So I can see like where you're coming from with that, Mac. Definitely.
Because it's in the original in Tokyo Drift, you just see the car door open of like the car that hit him, and it was like, oh, okay. Because it's like it's Fast and Furious, 2 Fast and Furious, the 4th one, 5, 6, then Tokyo Drift, and then it's 7, 8, 9, and now we're at 10.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well.
Wait, I got one more fact for you. So, okay, first of all, do you guys like Vin Diesel as an actor? Because I feel like he's not a bad actor. I just don't think he's in on the joke that we're laughing at him and not with him.
I think he's a typecast actor, honestly. I mean, and I don't know, just because he always like plays like everyone knows him as like, you know, Dom Toretto.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like, you know, I haven't seen other movies of his outside of the Fast franchise. I mean, the only movie I think I've seen of Vin Diesel's was Saving Private Ryan, which got him his start.
You mean you haven't seen The Pacifier?
Or Triple X or Riddick?
I may have seen The Pacifier, but yeah, I mean, like for Vin Diesel, I just see him as whenever he does a new action movie, it's just like some other version of Dom Toretto, and that's it.
Oh my goodness, The Pacifier. Oh my God. If you haven't seen The Pacifier, folks, you need to get yourself a Vin Diesel ticket or find it on Disney Plus because
that's like the one movie everyone's like, he's actually good at. And I'm like, what the hell's happening?
I used to watch that movie religiously. I still have my DVD copy of it, and I used to watch it all the time.
Oh my!
That was in that 2005 era. We were getting like Tim Allen and Robert Downey Jr. and the Shaggy Dog. You know, in that time when Freaky Friday and Confessions of a Teenage. Yep. That was true. That was a time.
My Vin Diesel fact before you go to the next movie, the news. Do you guys know how they got him to come back to the Fast and Furious franchise? Because if you remember, he left after the first movie, and as it was 2 Fast and Furious to Tokyo Drift, but he shows up at the end of Tokyo Drift. Do you guys know why he showed up?
Because Han died, and Dom said we find out that Han was a member of Dom's crew.
Yeah, but do you know how they got him
to that?
Well, it's a backstory of how they got him in that. So in the test screenings for Tokyo Drift, people are like, yeah, we're not feeling this. And they're like, okay, but you need to add something because this doesn't connect to the series at all. So they asked Vin Diesel, hey, do you want to come back for like that end scene? And please, like, come on, we want you back. You know, you said you don't want to do these anymore, but come on. But he's like, okay, fine, I'll come back, but I don't want to be paid. I just want the rights to Riddick. And they're like, okay. So he did that scene and got paid with the rights to Riddick. And that's what we're getting Riddick for, because he owns the rights, because he has faith in the Riddick franchise. And I guess that reignited his love for the series, because he came back for the 4th one, which was like sort of a soft reboot of the series. But yeah, Vin Diesel got paid with the rights to a movie franchise. So good for him. He's smart. He's a smart man, I think. He just doesn't know how to utilize it.
Yeah, I think him and Liam Neeson, have had like the same film, like similar filmographies, like where they get their career start thanks to Steven Spielberg.
Yep.
They do like the same, movie over and over and over again, and become like typecast actors. Still
got some money though, so I ain't gonna knock the hustle. But Kristen, what's your next piece of news?
All right, so this is coming from Sundance. So this was a hot ticket item at Sundance. Mac, are you familiar with Magazine Dreams?
No.
All right, you're going to want to know about this film, but Magazine Dreams has been picked up for distribution from Searchlight Pictures. I am so excited about this because I was almost going to get my ticket for this, and I'm very disappointed I did not. But according to Deadline, Searchlight Pictures has closed a deal for the scripted and directed drama that stars Jonathan Majors as a troubled amateur bodybuilder willing to go any lengths to be noticed. Sources say that Neon, Sony Pictures Classics, and HBO were also in the mix. And there has been no release date scheduled as of yet. And we all know Jonathan Majors has a huge career at the moment. He's going to be in Quantumania, which we're going to talk about next time. Yeah. We're going to see him in Creed 3, and now this is going to be potentially his Oscar campaign to get him that award in Magazine Dreams. So, Tyler, Mac, give me your thoughts on Jonathan Majors, and if you're excited or curious about this film.
Tyler, you can go first. You don't know about Magazine Dream.
Yeah. So, Jonathan Majors, I think he definitely should have had an Oscar run when he had his breakout role in The Last Black Man in San Francisco. I love that movie. And but yeah, from what I've been hearing about Magazine Dreams, I mean, I didn't go to Sundance or like see any screens from that, but from what I heard, it's like this year's Cha Cha Real Smooth, where like, you know, it's been the most talked about and, you know, the most acclaim. And I know Chris and our buddy Dave, you know, he said he saw it too, and he said that it's like already one of his favorite films of the year.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see it. I really hope we get it at some point this year. Because I really do genuinely believe that Jonathan Majors, you know, he is a very respected actor, and like, you know, he can prove people like he can be, you know, he could have a future where like he could be up there with like one of the greatest actors of our generation. And so I think from what I heard about Magazine Dreams, like this could be his time to prove that. And yeah, I'm for that. I'm really excited to see it.
Matt, give me your thoughts.
I love Jonathan Major. From the few episodes I watched I watched of Lovecraft Country. I was like, this guy, or County Country. I was like, this guy's gonna go places. And the fact that I'm not only seeing him in Quantumanium, but Creed 3, like what? He looks freaking like the man looks
he
like
looks jacked.
jacked.
Oh my
like
God.
I want his regiment. And like you saying the synopsis of the this movie you're talking about, I'm like, is this a prequel to Creed? Can this be the prequel? He's like a bodybuilder, like what? But
he probably just went from Creed to doing this.
Something. He's like, I already got the muscle. Can I just do more, please?
Yeah.
But I'm really proud of him. Like I'm really happy that he's getting the love and like some attention. I think he's a tremendous actor, and the fact that now he's going to be the big bad in this phase of the MCU is really going to be put some more focus on his name. And because even with Ant-Man, like you said, the reviews I'm seeing so far is that he kind of carries the movie. So it is kind of seeing that he is, I want to say up and comer. He's like starting to get more like known, because I feel like he's been doing this for years. It's just we haven't just noticed him until recently.
Yeah.
Well, have you guys seen The Harder We Fall? Because I think he was great in that film.
Oh, The Harder They Fall, the Western movie. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yes,
that one's also really good. And then I really liked him in Devotion.
Oh yeah, the movie with Glenn Powell, right?
Yeah, I thought that was great. I think he's like, he has proven to himself to be like this like leading man. And I'm just excited for him to take on these villainous roles. And then I'm excited to see him take on this dramatic role where it's going to be like, he's absolutely unrecognizable. And I wanted to say also to Searchlight. Searchlight also just picked up the rights to another film called Theater Camp, which I'm not sure if you all are familiar with that.
I've
Theater
heard that
Camp
one
is a Ben Platt film, and it's one of the most wackiest things I've ever seen. I saw a couple different films at Sundance, and that was one of them. So I'm very curious how they came up with that decision. And they were like, no, we're also going to pick up Magazine Dreams. I wonder how the conversations went on that deal. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I hope this gets a summer release, because I was just talking about this with somebody. I hope it gets a summer release. I'm thinking like either July or August, so that way it gets more word of mouth. And then towards like Christmas time and everything, where they're campaigning around award season, we're just going to see screenings for this film everywhere. And then it's going to get re-released, and then it'll be like on streaming. So then that way Hulu can be like, that's our film. That's the Searchlight right there. We're streaming it on our channel. So come and watch it. So that's what I think. Like, I think Magazine Dreams has a chance of becoming the summer independent film that everybody's going to go want to see.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I hope so. I hope everybody gets to go see it. But anyways, that's our news.
Oh, wait, I got one more.
Oh, you want to talk about another trailer?
No, this is actually a news story. So bite me. But this is actually interesting. So this came out today as we're recording on February 15th. So are you guys aware that we're getting the I Am Legend 2 with Michael B. Jordan and Will Smith?
Oh
Yes.
yeah, I did hear about that today.
So
yeah.
announced today for the sequel, because you might be wondering, how could they do a sequel? Because didn't Will Smith blow up in the first one? Well, yes, but my dear viewer, there was an alternate ending, which I say would have saved the movie, because that movie was kind of good. Not gonna lie, it had its flaws, but I feel like it could have been better. But it's using the alternate ending where Will Smith survives and actually learns the errors of the ways, and there's no cure. But the sequel is going to be taking place 6 years after the alternate ending, so kind of making the alternate ending the canon ending of the movie. But
Okay.
are you guys excited for I Am Legend 2? And which ending do you think was better of the first one? Did you like the Hollywood ending where he blew up, or do you like the second one where he realizes that the Dark Seekers are human, or like they have human tendencies, and he's like, oh my God, I'm the monster they see me as, like that, or yeah, that.
I have not seen the alternate ending. I definitely have seen it, like, heard people talk about it and all that. But now that they're making a sequel to it and they're saying that they're going it off of that ending,
Uh-huh.
I might have to rewatch I Am Legend and then also check out that alternate ending to see what exactly it's like. But it's I do think it's really fascinating, especially since Will Smith is still cranking out stuff now. So it's almost been a year since his that incident. Yeah, I think from what I saw of it, it was.
Well, what I saw made me cry about Sam dying.
Oh, the dog.
Oh my God, did that movie make me cry with that dog? I just don't want to see it because I'm sad about what they did to that dog. But I'm going to watch it though because of Michael B. Jordan.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I don't care how they introduced the film. It's fine. If they're going to go with that cut, then fine. And they really should have done is really use that cut. But then again, did they know like almost 20 years later that they were going to reboot this thing?
Probably, because I feel like with that ending, it kind of sets it up for a sequel where he's looking for a cure in a different way. Because like I said, I feel like I Am Legend is kind of it's like that era of Will Smith is weird because he made movies where like, in theory, like they should have been like better than what they were. Like I am like Hancock.
I was just gonna say, you remember Hancock?
Hancock, I think, came out a year or two later, and I feel like my thing with Hancock, it should have been rated R.
I just remember Hancock because I wanted to watch it because of Jason Bateman and Charlize Theron.
But I think Hancock was good. I just feel like it could have been better.
Yeah, it definitely could have been better.
That was like
Ronan in Hancock.
Who?
Yeah, Charlize Theron.
Oh yes, she was. Yeah, she was the other superpowered person.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, that whole era of Will Smith, because he did Pursuit of Happiness, then 7 Pounds, then Hitch, and then he did I Am Legend, and then Hancock. And so it's like, good for you, man.
I'm sure Shark Tale was in there somewhere.
Oh yeah, Shark Tale, baby. Let's go. That's now we talking my language, right? Yo, Shark Tale is one of my favorite. I'm not even joking. I actually really like Shark Tale. Like the part when like he's like that can't touch this, or like freaking.
I remember the car wash scene.
Or the fact they had Rastafari and jellyfish.
I like the big shark in it too.
Yeah, shout out to Shark Tale. Maybe we have a DreamWorks podcast, but I'm done with my news.
Alrighties, guys, but that was the news. We were a little bit all over the place. We're talking about Ted Lasso to the Fast and Furious, and then ending it on Hancock, starring Will Smith. So that was a ride. I don't know if you all enjoyed that. I hope you did. But anyways, if you have other news that you want to send to us or you want us to talk about, send it on over to the M&K Productions podcast email, which will be in the link description down below. And for now, we're going to jump into today's topic, which is Ashton Kutcher and his latest film, Your Place or Mine.
Never stops being weird.
Just so weird.
Debbie, you need to take a break.
I just need to be practical, which is what you have to be when you're a single mom. Right. Tragic.
I got an idea. I'm coming to LA for a week. I'm gonna look after Jack, and you can stay here.
I don't know.
You need help. Let me help.
Taking care of Jack is a lot of work.
I think I got this.
I hope that you get what you want out of this trip. Find yourself a hottie. Maybe get waxed.
Waxed? Oh, waxed.
Waxed.
Oh, well, that's just not gonna happen.
All right, guys, let's jump into today's topic. We all mostly grew up with Ashton Kutcher. I think you want to say, right, guys? I don't know. Did you No? Okay. Am I the only one? Yeah. Okay. Maybe
I mean, yes.
Okay.
I forgot. Whoops. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that went right past your mind. But yeah, we all kind of grew up with Ashton Kutcher. He is known for starring in the That 70s Show as the beloved Kelso, where he met his wife, Mila Kunis, before he was with Demi Moore. And then now he actually made a reappearance as Kelso in That 90s Show. And then also in between this time, he was also starring in movies. And then in the mix of these movies, he starred in 2.5 Men, replacing Charlie Sheen. We're going to just acknowledge very, very quickly the films of Ashton Kutcher and his long career he's had. And most of y'all don't know this, but Ashton Kutcher used to be a model. I don't know if y'all know that.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing that recently.
I never heard that. He
was a Calvin Klein model, and then somehow he got into the mix of acting, and he has been in a whole bunch of films. I mean, I don't know which films y'all have seen, but Mac, before I ask Tyler, what makes you curious about Ashton Kutcher? And I know you have feelings about him. So
why does he keep getting worse? Why does he keep getting worse? I'm so like, listen. I love that 70s show. I even like that 90s show. It's not bad. But Ashton Kutcher, my first interaction with him was that little asshole on Punk'd. I hate Punk'd. Like, this guy's like, oh, dude, we told your car, like, you got punked. Like, this dude with like the most 2004 like Abercrombie and Fitch fit with like a hat.
He did model for them, so
that's the worst part. Yeah, no, Calvin Klein. He modeled for Calvin Klein. I don't know.
And that too.
All right, then perfect. Abercrombie and Fitch. Like, I didn't like him in that. And then the thing I really don't like about him is that I don't think he's in on the joke that we're laughing at him and not with him, because he's like, man, you can be, as an actor or actress, I feel like you can be confident with your work. Like, you have to go with that confidence. But at a point, you have to have a sense of reality and be a realist, saying, I'm not that good. He ruined the Butterfly Effect.
I didn't even watch that.
I haven't seen that one either, but I've heard a lot about it.
That, if you didn't know, the Butterfly Effect the screenplay was on the blacklist, which we're saying was one of the best unproduced screenplays of all time. And
I don't believe that.
No, it was. And then they said, oh, Ashton Kutcher's like, oh, I'm a big star now. I'm going to do this. And my God, that movie it's a disaster. And like, the alternate ending's even worse, because you know the ending of the Butterfly Effect, right?
No, I haven't. That's one of the Ashton Kutcher movies I actually haven't seen, unless it's not a rom-com. I've seen all the rom-coms. So
yeah, I haven't seen Butterfly Effects, but my older sister's fiance, he likes it.
Do you guys want the ending in the alternate?
Yeah,
ending?
to spoil it. It's okay.
Okay, so the ending is kind of him going back in time. 2004, yeah. He goes back in time. He kind of like stops everything from happening, and he's like, "I'll never do this again." But there is an alternate. It's just
there's two alternate endings, because I'm seeing on here.
There is two, but I'm gonna just talk about the one that really just like you can watch it on YouTube. So in one of the alternate endings, he decides to like, I need to stop this. So he goes back in time to when he was a baby in the womb and chokes himself with his umbilical cord. That is a real scene. I'm not making that up. That is the real alternate ending they almost put in theaters. He goes, goes back in time in the womb and chokes himself with the umbilical cord.
I'm just baffled that exists.
That exists on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm speechless by that.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, let's not put that. That's one of the alternate endings. That's like the one I know. I
am just shocked someone decided to.
Yeah, it's. Don't look it up, because I was listening to the podcast and I said, oh, let me look up the alternate ending, and I couldn't sleep that night. It's very disturbing.
It literally says on the IMDb page there is the Butterfly Effect deleted in alternate scenes, the Butterfly Effect director's cut ending, the Butterfly Effect stalker ending. God only knows what that is, and then the Butterfly Effect happy sappy ending. So I don't know what the director was looking to release here, or what studio. I don't even know who released this. Do you know this? Do you know, Mick?
I'm not sure off the top of my head, but if I can make a guess, I'm probably gonna say Lionsgate would do something shit like that. But
I know it's available on HBO Max, because I saw it come up when it came suggested to me.
It was directed by Eric Bress and Mackie Gruber.
Okay.
And it was distributed by New Line Cinema.
Oh. I could kind of see that from them, though, given their track record. But
this is the director's cut ending. Actually, I'll read this from Wikipedia. With his brain terribly damaged and aware that he's committed to a psychiatric facility where he loses access to the time travel ability, Evan, who's played by Ashton Kutcher, makes a desperate attempt to change the timeline by watching a family video which shows his mother just before she was about to give birth to Evan. Evan travels back to that moment and strangles himself in the womb with his umbilical cord so as to prevent the multi-generational curse from continuing. Consistent with an added scene where a psychic palm reader tells Evan you have no lifeline and that he does not belong in this world. Kayla is then seen his sister and as a child in a new timeline, having chosen to live with her mother instead of her father, and mother suggests that the lives of the other childhood characters have become loving and less tragic.
I'm just shaking my head. I don't even know what to think.
I'm not. I don't make of that.
This is so left field from what he had done from all the movies that he done like rom-com related, and then that just comes out left field, and then right after that he just goes back to direct being in rom-com.
And there are the three endings you're mentioning. The first ending, the theatrical one, was he passed by Kayla on the street. The happy ending is Evan and Kayla stopping on the sidewalk when they cross paths, and they introduce each other. And the third one, which is the open-ended one, is dissimilar to the first one, except this time Evan, after hesitating, turns and follows Kayla. And this is the one that was utilized in the film's novelization.
Okay.
Butterfly effect, everyone.
But a little butterfly effect. When I first saw this, like, I since I didn't get to watch it when I was younger, like I went through an Ashton Kutcher phase.
Yeah.
So that was the one I stayed away from, because I was like, oh, okay, this is not one I'm going to be interested in. And I was like thinking, oh, is this going to really actually have butterflies in it? And no.
Also, a young Logan Lerman plays Ashton Kutcher at 7.
Logan Lerman is in that?
No way.
Yes, he was. He was 7 years old when you go to. But yeah.
Yep.
But did you see any of the
Logan
rom-coms?
Lerman, Evan, age 7.
Oh, good damn. But
Yeah.
Mac, did you see any of the rom-coms that he was in?
Yeah, I watched Killers, which was a fucking disaster.
Which is a movie I know you hate.
Yes, I reviewed that for Valentine's Day, and let me face it, I hate Katherine Heigl even more. I think she's very not a good actress at all. Like, I think she's just a heat magnet. That's a term in wrestling where you just look at her and you're just like anger, visceral. Like, Killers is the most unfunny movie. And I when I was 10, I thought that was the most funny movie. But I got older, I said, this movie sucks.
Okay, so that was the only rom-com that you've seen of Ashton Kutcher?
No, What Happened in Vegas, because I was telling Tyler. Because
I love that film.
I didn't like that because I was watching Your Place in Mine. I mean, man, this must be the new generation of What Happened in Vegas.
No. Oh no.
2008. Wow.
And then of course the one that my last, I've been talking too much. My last Ashton Kutcher thing is when he played Steve Jobs with Josh Gad and like the fact that that movie was so bad, they said, okay, we'll have Michael Fassbender play him to make up for it. Yeah,
Thank God for that film. Thank God for that film.
I remember reading Josh Gad said he wanted to play the same character in the Michael Fassbender one, but they said no.
God, no.
They said you're not allowed to come in this movie. But yeah, that's where my that I don't really like Ashton Kutcher. I'm sick of that Dave ad, the one he does for the money. He's like, oh, I invested in this. You get like $2. Like, shut up.
What, he does a commercial now?
Well, it was a few years ago, but every time you play like a mobile game, you watch the ad, it's like, oh, he's on like the talk show. He's like, oh, I use this investing.
I know what you're talking about.
Acorn. That's
Yeah.
He was like, it's like an investment app. He's like, I use Acorn and I can invest my money. And
he does so much investing in a lot of products. Like, he's on Shark Tank from a couple times.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, but yeah, I just don't like him because I think he thinks he's a better actor than he is, but he's more dude, where's my car, and not like a.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Dude, Where's My Car?
That's good. I love it.
Yeah, it is good. I watched that. I had to watch that for an assignment, college. Yeah. You know, that's rad.
But I'm done. I won't talk for a while.
Okay, now Tyler, for your turn. How can you go over your experience with Ashton Kutcher and some of the film works? I know that if you didn't see many of his works, that's okay. We're just going over the basics.
Yeah, so fun fact, he's Ashton Kutcher's from Iowa, so that's another, he's different, he lives a friendly neighbor of mine. And so so I've only seen 3 Ashton Kutcher movies. Cheer by the Dozen, where he plays Nora's jerk, I think boyfriend or husband, something like that. I don't know. I remember him being in it, and I remember thinking like, man, he's such a jerk. And then like in Bingo Cheer by the Dozen too, where like Nora's pregnant and like she has this other guy. So we all thought, oh my gosh, he must have a character change. But like, no, it's a different guy.
It's Aaron Samuels from
from Mean Girls. Yeah, discount Andrew Garfield. And then the second one is Vengeance, which came out last year, the BJ Novak movie, which I thought was it wasn't anything too special, but I thought it was pretty good. He was kind of the villain in that one, so it was kind of unique to see him in a different kind of role. And then of course Your Place or Mine, which I watched last night. And then of course I also watched that 70s show Once Upon a Time. And I thought he was fun in it. He is responsible for my favorite moment in that whole show. Him and Fez. There was this season 3 episode where someone finds a pair of panties in the Fisted Cruiser,
Mhm.
and like the whole episode trying to figure out what it is. In the episode climax of the episode, Donna's confronting Eric about it, and like Kelsey's like, "Hey, no offense, Donna, but dude, you're on fire." And then like Eric's like, "Wait, Donna, you gotta believe me. I have no idea whose panties those are." And then her mom runs in, and she's like, "Donna, wait, those panties are mine." And Kelsey goes, "Eric! Oh my god!" And that moment, I laughed so hard at that moment. That was like the hardest I ever laughed in that whole series. But yeah, it was a fun show, and like he was fun in it too. But yeah, when I think of Ashton Kutcher, I just think of Kelso from that 70s show. But I mean, and not really from Chibi Rose by Listen and Vengeance, but yeah, I mean, he's an interesting guy. I mean, I don't love him or hate him, but yeah, he's a guy. Let's just leave it at that.
He's the kind of guy who's very much typecast
throughout
his whole
exactly.
career.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I think he's kind of annoyed by that, but you know, it got him a lot of money. But literally, I grew up watching him in so many rom-coms, from Just Married, like, which was a really early like Britney Snow movie. Rest in peace, Britney Snow. But yeah, seen him in that. Then I saw him in My Boss's Daughter, Cheap by a Dozen, of course. Guess Who, which is the Bernie Mac. Yeah,
Isn't that also kind of like a live action remake of not a live action, a modern remake of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner?
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
and it's not bad either. It's not bad, but it's not great either. But you can't go wrong with Bernie Mac at all. But I've seen that. I have also seen Open Season, the one where he plays the reindeer.
He's Elliot. That's Elliot
Yep.
and Boog with Martin Lawrence. Oh my Christ. Oh God. I watched the movie. I played the game on PlayStation. I'm Open Season lore. Dude, I fucks with Open Season. I fucks with it.
Oh God.
Yeah, I got it pulled up right here. Yep, he's the second name that comes up under Martin Lawrence.
Oh,
man.
no.
That's the most 2006 movie ever. They have like 8. They have like 7 sequels. They're the Alpha and
Yeah,
Omega
but
Alpha
then again, he's not in any of them.
Listen,
I think it's Sean William Scott then who replaces Ashton Kutcher. I think.
Yeah, and then Boog has like 3 different voice actors because like freaking Mike Epps does him for a little bit and then they replace him.
And then my favorite film he's ever done is What Happens in Vegas. I love that film. I find that to be an absolute guilty pleasure. It's one of the only Cameron Diaz films I actually like.
Hey, what about Shrek?
Besides Shrek.
Okay.
Shrek is love, Shrek is life. Yes, we love Shrek. Spread, I haven't seen, but I want to watch it only because Sebastian Stan is in it, and he's really young in that film, and I want to know what he looks like there. I just have yet to watch it. And then Valentine's Day, of course, which was like not the best.
Better than New Year's Kiss.
Yeah, better than New Year's Eve. He was also in that, where he got to star alongside New Year's Eve with Rachel Berry, Leah Michelle, Leah Michelle learning to read. And then I've seen him in No Strings Attached, Killers. I didn't know he was in the Annie movie, which I just found out recently.
Let's face it, no one really remembered the Annie movie. That Annie movie sucked.
And then I also want to acknowledge he was also in a series on Netflix called The Ranch. And then I also saw him in Vengeance, where he played a villain. I thought he was a good character, but very underutilized. So, and then I watched him in Your Place or Mine. So I think there's only been like maybe like 1 or 2 films where I was like, okay, this is a really good movie. But I want to acknowledge this. He's teaming up with James Franco for a film that that's been completed. It's called The Long Home, and James Franco is in it, and Josh Hutcherson, Giancarlo Esposito, Tim Blake Nelson, Josh Hartnett.
Hey, yo.
I didn't get this cat.
Scott Hayes. Oh, shout out to Scott Hayes. I interviewed him.
Yeah.
Timothy Hutton, like all these films, all these actors came together
for James Franco.
Franco.
Yeah, that's weird.
At this point, so I don't know what inspired Ashton to come back for this film. Do they all want to cancel each other out? Money's not going to help them.
Well, I guess it's like, because when did the whole James Franco thing go down?
2017, because
yeah,
that
it was like
the disaster.
It was the height of Me Too. Yeah, it was the height of Me Too, the Me Too movement too.
Well, they're like, well, 5 years is enough. That's what they're probably thinking, and it's like
that's the apology. They're looking the Band-Aid off that.
Because Kevin Spacey had a movie last year.
Nobody saw that.
I saw it.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, Dustin Hoffman. Yeah, Dustin Hoffman. He's gonna be in the new Francis Ford Coppola movie, Megalopolis.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. All these canceled actors. But anyways, so let's hop into Your Place or Mine. Let me get the film details at the moment. So this is a Netflix film. It just dropped on February 10th. So if you watched it for Valentine's Day, I'm very, very sorry because you were very much out of luck with this film. But Your Place or Mine is a story of two long distance best friends change each other's lives when she decides, Reese Witherspoon decides to pursue a lifelong dream, and Ashton volunteers to keep an eye on her teenage son. Simple as can be, but the end result, it's a stinker. Honestly. Tyler, what are your thoughts this time? We'll start with you.
So I watched Your Place in Mine last night. I was telling Mac earlier, it's like if you were looking up the textbook definition of a Netflix rom-com, it'd be Your Place or Mine. Because like right out of the gate, this movie screams that it was made for Netflix. Like, you know, they were like, oh, it's 2003. You want to know how? And they point out those like little things like the chain wallet or the you know, Reese was having like flat
like
iron
a billion tank tops.
Or exactly like stuff like that. And I'm out again. I'm just like, yeah, this is definitely made for Netflix and written for Netflix. And like those little, that whole segment had nothing to do with the rest of the movie. So like that didn't make a whole lot of sense as to why it was there. So that was like the first, like, you know, 10 minutes of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get to everything else, you know, I'll admit I was surprised to see Ashton Kutcher not being like, you know, like kind of acts like a little dingus or like a Nimrod that like he's like known to playing.
Mm-hmm.
I heard someone say that he like kind of actually sounds like John Krasinski. Here I could definitely see it. I can definitely see it, but I mean, I'm not saying like, you know, he was good in it, but I mean, it was definitely, you know, nice to see him not play the person I thought he was going to play. And then Reese Witherspoon, you know, she's probably the hottest one over 40 in my opinion, or hottest actress over 40. So I mean, it was great to see her. Their chemistry, I think, wasn't super all the way there, but you know, it wasn't like, you know, like they you could tell like they couldn't stand being in the same room together. So that was another thing about that. And then like, I don't know, I felt like I was watching two different movies with the way it was written. I mean, because like I thought we were going to this movie about, you know, this place, like, you know, about these two friends, you know, who've been long distance, you know, their whole lives, you know, they're finally trying to find a way to meet up, and, you know, it just ends up not working out. But, you know, it ends up, you know, being, you know, she comes to New York class, he goes to LA to watch her kid. Yeah, I mean, like the way, like, you know, they're going about, you know, what are they going about with, like, you know, with Debbie in New York and Peter in LA. You know, I just felt like I was getting two different movies here and it wasn't lining up. And on top of that, I recently just found out, like, just going through Letterboxd, that the director of this movie wrote not only did she write Devil Wears Prada, but she wrote Cruella, a movie from 2020
that makes so much sense.
That I really liked. And so I'm kind of that kind of bones me out now even more. Yeah, Your Place or Mine, it was definitely a no for me. Definitely one of the worst I've seen so far this year. But yeah, I was not having it with Your Place or Mine.
This feels like freaking what happened in Vegas, which is a few extra steps. And like Tyler got to hit it over the head. It's like you can tell when a movie's made for Netflix. I don't even say this is for Netflix. This feels like a Hallmark movie.
It kind of does.
Yeah, a little bit too. Yeah.
It's like if you know like the tropes of a rom-com, you kind of already can guess what would happen at the end. And my question is, what the hell was Jesse Williams doing in this movie?
He was busy.
Jesse Williams.
Yeah.
He is the love interest that Reese Witherspoon falls in love with at the restaurant.
Oh yeah, Theo. Yep. Theo, yeah.
Like why?
There's a lot of random people that just show up because I didn't know Zoe Chow was in this. I was like, oh, the girl from The Long Weekend and the After Party. I love her.
I like Jesse Williams. He's in one of my favorite video games, Detroit Become Human. Shout out to Marcus. But I was like, what are you doing in here? Like,
he's gonna be in Only Murders in the Building season 3.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. But I'm just like,
Steve Zahn. I didn't know Steve Zahn was gonna be in it.
He was the gardener.
Yeah, the gardener.
The one who always shows his butt crack.
Oh my gosh! But like, I don't know. This movie was just very boring. Didn't really. I'm not gonna say like I'm not gonna scream and shout saying this is like holy abomination, because there's worse movies out there, especially on Netflix. But
Yeah.
I just feel like for a Valentine's Day movie, this was a very just weak and empty film that I just was not interested in at all.
Yeah.
The one thing that made this film boring is that there's so much exposition in this film that felt so unnecessary to hear. And knowing that, what really bothered me was that they are spent together at the beginning of the film and then not seeing each other at all until the very, 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 very end. Like they miraculously like bump into each other at the airport, like on all rom-coms, you know, we're running to the airport, we're meeting each other, and then they end up together. And then there's stuff that happens in between, and then that happens on the end. Like I get it, like Reese sold, you know, Ashton Kutcher's, you know, story to, you know, Jesse Williams. And he had that as a privacy thing. I would have been so concerned if somebody took my own property and Ashton is like okay with it at the end. I was gonna be like, you stole like my life's work.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Permission.
I wasn't out. Yeah, that seemed kind of a flaw to it too. Like, you know, like wait, she invaded your privacy, and you're gonna be and sold it to a publisher, and you're gonna be okay with that?
Yeah, and he's like, and they're walking out at the film with their hands like, la, 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 la. He's like, I'm gonna be a short story writer, blah blah blah. I'm like she invaded your privacy. She should have asked you first. That's like reading somebody's diary. Like, no, like no.
Kids, take this lesson: steal people's work, don't apologize, and they'll love you for it.
She
anyway.
literally could have done. Literally crossed out her name and put it as by Reese Witherspoon character, and then his life's work would have been gone if she was like one of those evil people that was so narcissistic. I can't say that word. Excuse me. I was really rooting for this, and I was like, okay, there should be some cute moments in this film, and there wasn't. I did not like any of these people, especially her annoying son who had like every single problem known to man, from being allergic and then not like wanting to interact with any child. I mean, I get it. His kid's supposed to be nerdy, but not to this level extent nerdy. Like I couldn't take watching this kid anymore. Like I wanted to like be like, oh my God, that's her son. And then we get no explanation to like the father. Like I know he's dead, but like there's no like, oh, I miss, you know, Reese is like, oh, I don't miss my old husband. And then, you know, there's nothing of that. And then I'm like wondering why these two were never put together. You know, I get it. They're like two opposite ends. It's like, you know, East Coast, West Coast kind of vibe, but I'm just like, oh God, I just could not stand the two of them as people. Could not stand anybody else. But, and then also what happens in the beginning, I put this in my review. Do you guys know the song Sweet Escape, right? By Gwen Stefani.
Yeah.
They played that song in the opening of the film. Yeah. And the film is set in 2003 when it opens. Yep.
I know you're going with this, Kristen. I know you're going with this. Song didn't come out until like 2007, right?
It came?
Yes, I was thinking that exact same thing too.
But they picked that song?
Yep, 2006.
Yep.
Yeah, the continuity does not line up.
And I love that song. I used to listen to that song religiously on my iPod. And
oh my God, how old are you? You just literally mentioned iPod.
I'm ancient, man. I'm ancient.
Well, I mean,
how old I am?
You literally see like, oh my God. Hold on, I gotta rip some stick to some LimeWire. I'll be right back. Jesus, man, like the fact that this movie takes place in 2003.
Yeah, that's how it opens.
Well, it starts in 2003 and then jumps. Yeah, exactly.
That's why, you know, you saw Ashton Kutcher with the chain and Reese with all the tops at the beginning of the film.
Man is 40 years old trying to be 20. Get out of here.
They're all trying to be 20 in that scene. It's like
uber cool. It's like Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum in the beginning of 21 Jump Street, but they were in high school.
That's when it's funny. That's where it is. They're trying to be cute and funny where it's not.
Freaking Ashton Kutcher pulls out his sidekick. He's like, hold up, I gotta make a call.
The director of this film is a first-time director, Aline Brosh McKenna. She is known for writing, as Tyler said, you know, Devil Wears Prada, wrote Cruella. She also wrote 27 Dresses and Morning Glory, like some cute, like other rom-coms, like a lot of people are, you know, known for. But then again, she also wrote the screenplay to the 2014 Annie. So I don't know about that. And then love it or hate it, I enjoy We Bought a Zoo, and she wrote the screenplay to that. I don't know if you're all a fan of that film, but
I've never seen it.
oh gosh, so cute. Oh, I love Matt Damon in that film. Mac, have you seen We Bought a Zoo?
Oh, is that the one with Matt Damon, right?
Yeah.
I did
And the
like that.
giraffes and all the animals.
I did
Scarlett
like that.
Johansson.
Yes.
I did like that one. I remember that, and
It's cute.
I watched it. We got it from a gas station, and I watched it, and I liked it. I always thought when you said We Bought a Zoo, I was thinking about the Kevin James movie, Zookeeper.
Oh, Zookeeper, no.
Yeah, Zookeeper.
My mind immediately like Zookeeper, Kevin James.
I mean, they're released around the same time,
That's
so
the
you're not
scary
wrong.
part. They're like, hey, can we go see the Zoo movie? All right. Oh
Yeah, they're both 2011.
Oh
Mom,
no.
Yeah, Mom, we want to see the Zoo movie. No, we have the Zoo movie at home. It's Kevin.
Yeah.
It's the Kevin. What is it? What's his name? I almost said Kevin Spacey.
Kevin James.
Kevin James. I don't want to talk about this film anymore. It annoyed me.
Anyone else
Yeah.
notice that Jack is the actor playing Jack is Jimmy Kimmel's nephew?
Nepotism.
On a rating scale, how would you grade this film or give it a score wise?
I originally gave it 2 stars, but now that we've been talking about it, I think I might drop it down to 1.5.
I gave it a 1 out of 10. Like I gave it an F. I was just not feeling it. Mac, what do you do?
I'll just give it an F, to be honest, if you could have slight. I
How
don't
does
know.
it compare to the other films I had you watch in terms of Thunder Force or Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Oh, nothing will ever beat Texas Chainsaw Massacre and that hemorrhoid that produced that. But like, damn, this, I'm gonna say this. I had more fun with this than I had with the other two.
I will take that.
In my sick perverted way, I had fun with this more than because I think with Thunder Force was more of just cringe because it was Melissa McCarthy not being funny, and then Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Well, no, Texas Chainsaw Massacre was funny because you just laughed at it, especially the part when the Busty's like, "You try anything, you'll get canceled, bro."
I remember
yes.
I remember Mac and Kristen. I remember seeing the trailer for that. And the moment that scene happened, everyone pulled their phones out. The guy said, "Try anything, you cancel, bro." I'm like, "Yep, I'm out. I'm not checking this out."
Everybody was out.
We watched that.
That
movie.
was a Netflix. That is definitely a Netflix moment.
To be fair, it was also released almost the same time last year. So we're getting that bad February film.
Oh no! Oh god! I just had a freaking Vietnam flashback. Holy shit!
Oh my god!
Like, oh my god, that was a year ago. What the hell? No, that was that was last. Holy
2022, and
that
Thunder Force was 2021.
Oh wow, this 3.
Most of us here like Reese Witherspoon. I can't complain about her most of the time. Mac, do you like Reese?
Yeah.
Mac?
She's all right.
Oh.
She's all right.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I zoned out. I zoned out.
I don't know if you're.
I didn't know who to answer. I was like, you guys can spitball your answers.
Sorry, I have to wait. I have to go back to what I saw her in. I'm sorry. Like I confuse her with Renee Zellweger all the time. Don't ask why. Yes.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
No, they're two blondes. They're easy to mix up.
I liked her in Walk the Line. She was good.
Love Walk the Line.
Yeah, Walk the Line's a good movie. Walk the Line's good.
That's one of my favorites.
Monsters vs. Aliens. That's what I love her in. I just watched that, and it's freaking Susan because I was quoting when Seth Rogen was Bob, and they're at the Golden Gate Bridge. He's like, "Oh, don't worry, I can talk to this. Hey, we are here to destroy you."
Yes.
He's like, "Hey, I think I'm slowing up that." I really wish that movie got a sequel.
They had that TV series.
And I watched that. It was
Attack of the Mutant Pumpkins. Yeah.
But I do remember that there was a time where I'm like, I'm so sick of your shit. And I remember it was This Means War. I didn't like that one because that's a McG film. Freaking Hot Pursuit with Sofia Vergara. I hated that one.
Oh, that's bad.
And don't forget about the classic film, A Wrinkle in Time.
Oh,
directed by Ava DuVernay.
Yeah.
I just was at Five Below, and I usually like to check out the $5 movie bin. And I was like, "Oh, there's A Wrinkle in Time. Oh, A Wrinkle in Time. Oh, A Wrinkle in Time." It was all A Wrinkle in Time. Just 2 sections of A Wrinkle in Time. Nobody.
I'm so sorry that you had this experience. That
was it Storm Reed in A Wrinkle in Time?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Man, what a turnaround she's had. Thank God.
That's a Euphoria.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
Thank God, because I was like, oh no, if I have to see you just remember this, I'm gonna cry. She's also, but good thing she did Missing because she's getting ready for her next defining role at the Nun 2 in August.
Yeah. But Tyler, do you have a favorite Reese Witherspoon movie before we have to?
Yeah. So I'm looking at her filmography right now, just get a refresher on everything. I think the best movie of hers that I've seen, I agree, would have to be Walk the Line. I think also Election was also a great movie as well.
Good.
I might be a little bit biased by that because it was shot and set in Omaha. And
I
so
mean,
like
no
it was
problem
cool
with
seeing,
that. That's okay.
yeah, and like just seeing like everything, like all this place was shot. I'm like, hey, I know where that is. And but yeah, I think Walk the Line and Election, I think are her two best movies, with easily her best performance being in Walk the Line.
I loved her in Water for Elephants. I'm a sucker for that film.
Which one?
Water for Elephants.
I like it.
With Christoph Waltz and Robert Pattinson.
Yes, I read that book. I love that film. That movie made me cry my eyes out. I thought she was great in that film. But I do love like Walk the Line, Election. Legally Blonde is the staple in my book. At any day, I can rewatch that film and whoop that film with no hesitation. But I also want to acknowledge her. She produced Your Place or Mine through her production company, Hello Sunshine.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
And most of the stuff that she's released through her production company has been either a hit or a miss. I'm noticing it's like some of the TV stuff she's done from like where is it? She's done like some of Big Little Lies. She did Hot Pursuit, Gone Girl, which she produced, which I absolutely love. Wild.
Oh yeah, she did produce Gone Girl. I forgot about that.
Film. The Morning Show, where the Crawdads Sing, Surface, which is the recent Gugu Mbatha show, From Scratch, the latest Zoe Saldana series. And then she also just produced a recent Something from Tiffany's, which is a Zoe Deutsch film, which I actually did like. So, which wasn't a bad film either. But I think she's in that rom-com phase. I get it. But right now, but I don't know what else I really love her in. So, but I think she'll always just be a staple of that Elle Woods. But have you guys seen her actually? But otherwise, last minute thoughts about Reese or Ashton or the film, or we had to close out.
I got nothing.
Nothing. All right, most excelente, guys. This was our review of Your Place or Mine, and we talked about the actors. Let us know what you guys think of both Reese and Ashton in the comments down below. And if you're excited to watch Ashton Kutcher in the canceled James Franco film, yikes.
Yeah.
Oh, yikes. But yeah, we're going to close out the show. Mac, do you want to talk some box office for a little bit? Because we haven't talked about that this year.
Yes, let me bring up the box office report.
All right, guys, let's then get into the box office and the M&K upfronts.
All right, so the box office reports for this past weekend. This is pre-Ant-Man and the Wasp, so this is subject to change. So at number 10, we have Python with $976.5 thousand. Number 10 is Plane with $1.2 million. By the way, Plane has just announced they're getting a sequel called Ship with Mike Coulter. So think about what you want with that. Number 9, we have the Chucky queen herself, Megan. Number 8 is Missing. Megan made $2.4 million and Plane made 1.2. Missing comes in at number 8 with $2.5 million. A Man Called Otto is number 6 with $2.6 million. Knock at the Cabin goes down from 1 to 6 with $5.4 million. Puss in Boots stays at number 5 with $5.5 million. 80 for Brady goes from 2 to 4 with $5.8 million. Titanic, the 25th year anniversary re-release, comes in number 3 with $6.7 million. Avatar: Way of the Water comes in at number 2 with $7.2 million. And knocking off Knock at the Cabin for number 1 was Magic Mike's Last Dance with $8.3 million. So out of all those movies, what movie are you surprised it's making the most money?
I'd say I'm so surprised to see that Avatar: Way of Water got more than Titanic. I mean, or at least they're like neck and neck. I mean, I know Avatar's been ruling box office since it came out, and I think now it might start to might go under because of Quantumania coming out this week.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I got nothing else that surprised me about it.
Yeah,
So
nothing really stood out. I mean, I understood, like, Knock at Cabin was number one, and then I was like, okay, we saw that. Shyamalan had his week. You let it go.
Plane is in the top 10.
Yeah, I'm surprised it has gone that far, and knowing it's getting a sequel. I mean, Gerard Butler knows how to get to his audience. I think he's like in that phase of like Liam Neeson where they're both doing the same thing.
Well, here's the thing with Gerard Butler movies. They're actually good because I like Den of
Point
Thieves.
taken.
And I like Greenland, yes. And then Plane was kind of a guilty pleasure movie. And then, it's Luke Cage, so.
And then Magic Mike's Last Dance. If it is the last dance.
It's not. Shout out to Titanic, too. I knew that was going to be in the top 5.
Titanic 2 too?
No, shut up. Titanic was going to be in the top 5.
I was like, oh, the second
Titanic 2. Titanic 2, the Resequening. There is a Titanic sequel.
I know, it's not very good.
The animated movie, and when it's like
it's
the rapping dog
too.
Yeah, like the singing dolphins. Don't you love that?
No,
I do.
That's a nightmare. All righties, guys, before we say our goodbyes, we're just gonna say our upfront for next episode. We are talking Ant-Man and the Quantumania. Right now the film isn't doing so hot with critics, so yikes. And it's the first film for the MCU for phase 5, so we have a huge start with that. So we will be back with Darren's movie reviews to join us for that, because we loved him for our Batman episode. If you haven't seen that listen to that episode, go check that out, and then come back when we have Darren on for our next episode. For now, we're going to say goodbye for now. Tyler, thank you so much for joining us. We hope to have you back on in the future. Once again, where can the folks find you at?
Yeah, so like I said at the start of the show, you can find me on Instagram at Tyler Banark Reviews Movies. Also check out the League Cinephiles YouTube channel and the Critics Circle on Instagram as well. And also feel free to check out my websites at cinemasauce.com and cinemadispatch.com. Matt, Kristen, thank you guys so much for having me on here, and I really do hope you guys can I can come back sometime.
Oh yeah,
so I'll hang out with you guys.
And anybody who's a guest, of course, they're always welcome back. You're part of the M&K Productions family.
What do you know about Star Wars?
Overrated.
We might have to get you back on for 100, but you got someone coming on.
Someone has entered the chat.
We might have to get you on for
entered the chat.
We might have to get you on for 100 because we got someone who's not only a big fan of Star Wars but does cosplay for.
We're just gonna have to find like at least 10 guests and then have a fight, and then I'm just gonna sit here like this.
That would be
popcorn. I don't even have to contribute. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, you're all making my content here.
That's why we have Zoom Premium, baby.
Alrighties, guys. We will be back. Thank you all for listening. Don't forget to follow our socials, and Tyler's socials will be listed down below. And we will see you all next time. Bye.
Peace.
Fuck you in the lane you came with. Me and you ain't on the same shit. You ain't in my lane, bitch. Nah, all that shit it fit. Rollie on my wrist. Ay, baby, you a star. I'm my only wish. I'm counting blue hundreds. I'm too money. Ay, and my little bitch, she too lovely.